Clubhouse, and guess what? They liked how much of a hindrance that Finka ban was against the Soniqs on Villa, so they're going to do it again. Run it back again. Get rid of the Finka, handicap the Soniqs, and go from there.
Makes perfect sense. I mean, it worked before, try it again, and ultimately, I mean, what else are you going to ban? Because Soniqs, they've already kind of done the work for you in the sense that, well, Thatcher's off the board. That leaves Maverick open, both teams can play it, Valkyrie follows along, same story as Villa, same story as most maps, and to finish it all off, it's Wamai. And the reason why teams have started banning Wamai more and more is because if you do not, and the defenders play both the Jaeger and the Wamai together, that really challenges the synergy, coordination, and communication of the attacking side, and it can be very frustrating to deal with, right? So by taking off one of those two operators, but typically the Wamai, you ensure that once you go on the attacking side, when you elevate, it's going to be easier to clear shields, to clear utility, etc. And we know that Soniqs, they play a very good utility game. Right now on the board, we see the operators as well as the bomb site. That is Jim. Now remember, the attackers, they do not see the bombs that they're attacking. That is just a spectator thing. But everybody right now are seeing each other's operators. You do have that 6 pick available, and so far, it seems like nobody will use it. That means this will be a true round, if you will.
I also want to add one thing to that conversation that you just had, the point you made about Jaeger and Wamai. Don't sleep on Aruni either. She functions very similarly in terms of the fact that you need to use at least some form of gadgetry to take out those laser gates. Yeah, you can throw a drone through it, but you also will likely see teams throw flashbangs. You might see a Zofia try to waste utility there. If not, and you run through that gate, you take damage. And with the way that these teams play and the way that grenades have been so prevalent and how you're often playing around now at 50% of your HP, that laser gate can be quite strong and works as good denial. Now, you don't always see teams run Jaeger, Wamai, and Aruni all at the same time. Usually, you've got one of the operators banned. It's Wamai that tends to get the ban the most. But still, synergy, like in terms of synergy, they are very synergistic, if you want to call it that. So, something to keep in mind.
Speaking of things you don't see very often, Onyx here is running Lesion Shotgun. And it's not because it's the only shotgun. They have Mirror Shotgun, they have Mute Shotgun, they have Lesion Shotgun, and they have Ney on the Goyo with the TCG. So they have like 4 shotguns right now from the side of Elevate, but it's a gym defense. Typically a medium to long range bomb site. Sure, you're playing inside of Cash Room, but the walls will get opened up, and then you create a very long angle, and the shotgun becomes, well, you gotta use your pistol. And we all know pistols, they aren't that great.
There's the 4 shotguns, 3 primary shotguns.
Yeah.
The way Sapper's running a primary shotgun, Goyo's running a primary shotgun, and Onigiri is as well. Nerix is the secondary shotgun. So when you say Mira shotgun, I know most people will instinctively think of her secondary, but there is that ITA shotgun that comes on these 2 Spanish operators that is also quite a strong weapon. So worry not. A bit of normalcy there. The Vector with its high rate of fire is going to be in the hands of Nerix. In terms of this defense, being at gym and bedroom, it's unsurprising to see the map control for Elevate extend out towards Cash and especially CCTV.
Very standard stuff.
The Goyo lurks below. Look at this. Ney in this position with the ACOG. Rexon is above. Kansan is above. If they pop up, a single shot from Ney, providing that he can be a good shot, will be enough to drop them.
Well, he goes up the ladder. The flank is coming through. Ney goes up the ladder. He can make a huge flank. He gets one. Doesn't know the second guy. Falls back. That's very well done. He got the 1 kill he needed. That's also the ace off the board. Very high value kill. But Soniqs, they played triple Heartbreach. It's the ace, the Thermite, and the Maverick. So, of course, less value than normal. But this also allows you to buy more time for your player inside of Cash. That's DCH on the Jaeger.
DCH out of that COVID isolation. He's now competing with the same team, or the team on the actual stage. We saw this before, and he's just going to keep wasting time. Hey, look at the clock. 1 minute is left, just shy of 1 minute. So DCH can stay in this position. Keep Kansan busy. The longer that you keep Kansan busy, the more that the buck cannot be impactful on the bomb site. And the Jaeger is needed in this spot to rotate through construction where Grixer is. Now you've got Yeti stacking up with Kansan. They'll toss nades in. Super opening up construction. All 4 players of Soniqs in the vicinity of this Jaeger, and there down goes Yeti to Nerix. So the Soniqs will continue to trail in numbers because they didn't expect this mirror at the top of red. A truly baffling layout now from Elevate. And the Soniqs don't know what to do with it. They're still fighting shadows, unsure of what to do next. 10 seconds, and you have to go for broke into the bomb site. Nyrix picks up another big kill with Grixer refragging. Super jumps on in, and he's punished by Ney, leveled by that shotgun. And look at Grixer, inside of construction, no hope for the Soniqs, because it's the off-site play from Elevate to dominate that first round.
That ladder inside of Garage has really been paying off at this event so far. So actually, Astro from FaZe has been using this ladder almost every single series that they've played Clubhouse so far, and he's found a successful flank. And I think Elevate, I think Ney has been watching some FaZe clan VODs because, well, they're doing the same thing, and it's working out the exact same way. Once that opening kill was made from Ney, well, that's the ace of the board, and Soniqs, they were kind of scrambling. They're like, what are we going to do next? But you have a Thermite, you have a Maverick, you could easily breach the wall into cache from server. You never tried to do it. Yeah, there might have been a mute jammer on the wall, but you have grenades, you have the Maverick torch. All you gotta do is just basically deal with it, if you will. Buck vertically can go down below, clear out the jammer as well with a single yellow ping on that center area of the wall. It's easy things to do, but Soniqs, they don't seem to really either want to do it or just didn't figure out that they could have done it. And that made Elevate's life a lot easier as DCH bought so much time. Nyrix on the red stairs with the Mira provided really good support, and nobody from Soniqs went below to walk up the red stairs. Nobody flashed it, nobody tossed any grenades. It was very much a standstill almost. Soniqs waiting for Elevate to make the first move, expecting aggression. But Elevate didn't bring it a single time, and that's kind of the story of Soniqs and Clubhouse. The games that they've struggled in, which to be fair, on Clubhouse they've done a really good job, but there was a game in particular against NIP. They lost 6-8 because, same kind of reasoning, NIP was sitting still, they were waiting, and then Soniqs, they were struggling to break apart the rounds and open it up for themselves. They almost rely on the enemy to make a mistake or give them too much space, and then the Soniqs can capitalize. When it doesn't happen, well, the round doesn't go their way. CC defense, Mir being brought out again, and a kite.
A triple hard breach from the Soniqs, and they're running the exact same lineup as before. The mirror window now broken, so no vision will be given. But as long as you can get rid of that Electric Claw, you have a way in, and there it goes. The mirror window has been ejected. That means that if a Selma goes on that wall, an Impact Grenade can deal with it. It also means that the Maverick can't get up as close as they want. First pick goes to Kansan. The Soniqs start off by taking the Oryx down. That's the fastest operator in the game, and a key part of most teams' roam is now gone.
Fastest operator in the game. Such a funny statistical fact where it's like, yeah, he's the fastest. Well, not when he's sprinting, but his gadgetry. When you press middle mouse button, you storm through walls, you storm through anything really in your way. You can knock over Monty or knock over shields, etc. and just have a ton of fun. Thermite charge goes out on that mirror window that was broken on the CC wall. That means there's now an opening for Soniqs. There are 3 players outside. They're going to be scouting the bomb site, getting information. Yeti says, you know what, my job here is done. Gonna rappel up, rotate over, and now the question comes, do you go for Garage or do you go for Master Bedroom? Or do you just work with a single breach? It is possible, but very, very uncommon. Soniqs actually doing just that, runs in through sight. Kansan finds the opening kill. Actually, that was Yeti, but a shutdown comes through some Sapper. Now Elevate have to make a play.
DCH is down below. What did you talk about? This ladder that was been used by a number of teams. Rexon, if he doesn't know that somebody's there, well, he might be taken off guard by the Jaeger. Down goes Sapper, so DCH is nowhere near as effective. That puts more onto the shoulders of Nyrix, playing in the same spot, but a different bomb site as before, top of red. DCH waiting patiently. Rexon will sit inside a garage. 3 smokes go out. Nyrix has rotated in the A-bomb site. Diffuser going down next to the default spot inside of CCTV. DCH is up, and it's Rexon to slow him down. The Soniqs looks much sharper, and they are, in fact. Almost every single player in on the action. Super gets the diffuser down right as the final kill comes in. And well done to Soniqs, because they're able to find their footing on a map that they've played a lot, but was not chosen by them, and they do it much quicker than they did on Villa.
Yeah, and it was indeed that, well, just the breach run through a simple take from Soniqs, and this time around, what they did better than in the game against NIP is that they actually took map control, they created chaos, and with the chaos they created space, and they also got the kills to go with it. It wasn't just Super throwing a smoke grenade, then trying to plant. No, it was Kansan running in, Yeti getting a kill, then Super got off the plant, figured out the situation, toxic babes, C4s, etc. Am I safe here? He then said, okay, I am safe, I can start planting once more. He did just that, they got the round, and speaking to Soniqs' objective play here, they average 2 plants every map. Remember, there are only 6 attacking rounds unless you go OT, then you can get 1 or 2 additional rounds depending on where you start on. That means that they've planted a lot of times. They have 13 plants alone on Super, which is top 5 in the category as of today, before any games were had, so clean off the day. Elevate, on the other side, they have 0.7 plants on average. They have 7 plants total. That is tied dead last. So these two teams clearly play a very different, I would say, priority, if you will, right? Very heavy objective play from Soniqs, very kill-based objective for Elevate. They don't care about planting as much. And I will say, on Villa, we saw a different kind of Elevate because they planted twice and they tried to do the third time. They really had a very clear mind what they wanted to do, where typically for Elevate, I mean statistically at least, they don't seem to care at all about planting diffuser, but rather getting kills because it's a lot more fun.
Absolutely correct. I mean, in terms of funness factor, you've now brought back how Oryx was fun, and now you're talking about how getting kills are fun. Yeah. And I mean, fair enough. I guess fun is a consideration for these teams. This is a bar stock defense from Elevate. This is a bomb site that we have seen steadily increase its play rate. And again, just as we said with Living Room Library on Villa, it is not necessarily the best bomb site for the defenders at all.
So, in fact, it has been played 17 rounds so far. It has a 35% defender win rate, which isn't too bad. The overall is 52, and CC, for example, only has 46. So it's all right in terms of play rate. It's about a little bit less than average. It's okay at best.
So about a third of the times it's played, it's won. Not great.
Not great.
That's what? That's 6 wins out of the 17 rounds.
Yeah, just
for
about.
the defenders. Not a smart place to go for the defenders more often than not, but it's going to be attempted here by Elevate. Nice flank drones down below. The Soniqs are very apprehensive about what Elevate can do off-site, especially after that first round. Nay playing down an oil pit, ascending that ladder up into the garage and then making the Soniqs pay. You need somebody to be in that position to watch it. Because of the triple hard breach from the Soniqs, they don't exactly have a dedicated flank watch operator. You're not going to bring a Zero, you're not going to bring a Nomad, you're not going to bring a Gridlock, so you're going to have somebody stick on that position themselves. They managed to open up the wall inside, or tried to open up the wall inside a stock. But Elevate so far have not really had to do too much. They haven't really put themselves in harm's way. Nobody's really collided at this present moment. Because of the Soniqs' interest in stock onto that stage bomb site, the next step is usually to go over to Strip Club and try to open up that wall as well. Additionally, if you go for a plant over by the billiard table, you usually need to control weight room / gym above. If that's not the case from the Soniqs and they don't grab access to it, they'll be in trouble. So they're focused now over towards that stage. First of all is Grixer. He's the top player on the team. He has more than double the rest of his teammates combined. And it's a rotate coming in from DCH. They've still got so much intel. Yet he's stunned by the yokai from above. It's a powerful spot for DCH to be in. Elevate still have full control from above. Their numbers will dwindle. Onigiri on bomb site goes down to Rexen. Super's in the bomb site with Rexen too, but Nirek swats him away. In the safety of the corner by a hard wall. There it is from Elevate, as it looked like Super was going to plant, but DCH above says not today. 2 huge picks from him. Again off site. Again under the radar. And Elevate pick up their second round, and they regain the lead in this matchup.
Soniqs once again really going for an extremely simplistic, direct approach to the attack, and it doesn't work out once again. It can. I'm not saying it won't, but it can, but right now it isn't. And it is because Elevate, just like on Villa, they're playing heavily on the map. They're everywhere. They hold top floor, and they will hold it all the way until you take it away from them. And Soniqs, you're not doing it. At the very end, you had a player above. He had a confrontation. He had a fight. He lost it, and that meant that everything was lost because one player holding the entirety of top floor just simply isn't enough, especially when you don't have, for example, the Nomad to help you cover if they push into you. Just a gunfight, 50-50%. Those odds, Elevate, they'll take them. They love them. They'll thrive on them on those 1 versus 1 engagements. And we'll now work our way through all 4 bomb sites. Gym, CC, Bar, basement. Thunderbird being brought out again, second time in this series. DCH on the Kaid makes really good sense for basement because, again, there is no Thatcher on the board. You got those hatches. One Kite Claw will significantly slow down the attackers as you'll be forced to either try and grenade the Kite Claws off it or use the Maverick. And, well, if you're Soniqs, you only have 2 grenades. So grenading the Kite Claw means that you cannot grenade a player. And it was Jess and Fresh, I believe. They just had a segment earlier today about how massive grenades have been, how explosive, how many kills they've got. I mean, I think it was SSG being the most proficient, basically getting the most amount of grenade kills or grenade value so far throughout Invite 2022. And, well, Soniqs right now, you only have 2 of them. So even if you were to get the absolute most amount of value, it's nothing compared to teams running 4, 6, or 8. And now you also have a Kite Claw in your way. You gotta make decisions, but no, the nade gets used for the castle barricade. That's extremely low value given the circumstances. That's a rough start.
You think about it, you've got a Maverick who could very easily be used on those castle barricades. You got the same thing with a Selma, obviously. That would be low value for the Selma, but at least it's there. A nade and how destructive they have been. I believe it was during our pre-show segment, and I mean our pre-show, as in the desk segment before we got into this matchup. There was a stat that got shown about all of these teams and how they use nades so effectively. The North American teams, all of them, have been among the best at using nades so far.
And Na'Vi.
and then Na'Vi, which, by the way, are playing a North American team on the other stream right now, up against Space Station. So if you're one of these teams in NA, you want to make sure that your nades are hitting the spot, like you said, low value.
Yeah.
Slow round here as it's a 4th bomb site for Elevate. Jim has opened up, as well as Cash. That was the one lone bomb site.
That's nice, Rexon. Basically threw the summer charges to the side of the hatch, then they fold out, and the hitbox of that fold out doesn't really work against the Kite Claw, so it's invulnerable, breaches it open, good value. Also, Kenton found the kill on top of that.
Almost traded back. There goes the Banshee inside of dirt, but because of the sound of it, the Wub-Wubs, they know that somebody from the Soniqs are there. Nay is off site. Elevate love to keep a lurker, a roamer well disconnected from whatever execute is coming in from the Soniqs and just bide as much time as possible. The Soniqs are very reluctant to engage unless they have a significant advantage in terms of numbers, and they had an advantage. It's now gone. Super is down for the count. That's Diffuser surrendered as well. It looks like he's in the bomb site when he perished. Nerix is next to fall. The Soniqs will need to retrieve that Diffuser, and Grixter looks the right way, gets Sapper, a totally immobile target. Where is DCH? Where are Nay? Are they still in the bomb site? Are they roaming? Yes, they are in the bomb site. And they'll await the 2 players from the Soniqs for the hot drop. Nay gets hit by a Kona Station and a flashbang at the same time. Blinded, but he gets away with his life intact and is overhealed to boot. There's been damage done to both Kansan and Grixer. They're a couple bullets away from death. And with the TCSG in hand for DCH, but only 5 shots for DCH. 3 now. He needs to ensure that he's using them on his opponents. The wild card for the Soniqs is Yeti inside of dirt. And when the execute comes in, he can swiftly whisk his way through and catch the Elevate players off guard. There's some paralysis right now from this Elevate team. DCH with 1 bullet left. Down he goes. It's Nate at the bottom of the stairs. He looks the wrong way. Siege timing strikes again. And the Soniqs manage the clock well, isolate the off-site players, and then push to the bomb site with full control. Again, we're tied up.
Not just the clock for Soniqs, but also the rotation. They ensured that when this execute comes through, because Super is dead, because the Diffuser is deep inside, that this is all or nothing. We cannot do the same thing, lose 1 player, and then go again. Thankfully, for Soniqs, Elevate were the one in 1 bullets, especially Nay on that TCSG. But basically, you had 1 player from Soniqs walk down the main stairs. He held the cross, killed the default cam. 1 player inside of dirt that could push through as well, and 2 players on the hatch. And then they said 3, 2, 1, execute. They all drop, they all push in, they're holding angles. So either Elevate will walk into the line of sight and they will die, or Soniqs has enough presence on the bomb site to ensure that, well, if Diffuser isn't going to be going down successfully, at least we can find the picks. You can win the round either way, and yes, Soniqs, they typically play that objective of planting, but that round with Super being dead, they just say, let's go for kills. It suits them, especially when you have 4 gunners alive. There's no reason to take a gun off a player that is so proficient with the weapon when you can just use it instead and find the last 2 players of Elevate. We're going back up to Jim. That's where we started. That's where Elevate found their first round on this map. And this time around, Onigiri is again with the Legion Shotgun. I was gonna say this time he's changed his mind, but no. The Legion Shotgun, there's a deliberate strategy somewhere. There's some involvement that I am puzzled about that I cannot figure out. I need to ask him after this match is possible, because normally, if you bring the MP5K on Sapper, on the mute, then you need a supplement shotgun, but that's not the case.
They just blew up a Goyo shield by accident in the middle of the bomb site, by the way. So, Elevate, if you bring in Goyo, Napew's going to have 2 of those shields available. You've only got 1 now. That was a bit of a misplay on their end. You talked about how the Soniqs misused utility on the nade. Well, now it's Elevate to do just that. Needlessly taking out their own shield. Unless, actually, hold on a second here.
Unless it's
this might have been a deliberate strategy to peek from below. Are you making the best of a bad situation, or was it some giga-brain, giga-chat move?
When you got this many shotguns, surely you're not going to use the shield explosion to create a small hole in the floor that you could have shotgun otherwise.
I mean,
surely.
I have seen a Yana throw her grenade through an Aruni gate and then have a Gemini clone available. So stranger things have happened. I've also seen a Hibana use her X-Kairos on a soft hatch with a buck right next to her. So sometimes teams don't exactly think this through.
Either way, there's a hole in the floor. And Onigiri has a shotgun. Those are the 2 things that are factual.
Maybe they don't want. Maybe the ammo is too valuable. They saw DCH run out of ammunition on the TCSG last round. And they go, let's not find ourselves.
That's the one.
Maybe we'll just use this Goyo shield. We don't need it anywhere else. Or, oh damn, we brought a Goyo. What are we gonna do? Well, we'll blow up the floor. Why not?
Preserve the ammo by playing more shotgun makes sense. Onigiri is playing inside a bathroom. We saw Yeti outside of the jacuzzi breach down below with Super 1 floor above.
And if we recall the last time that the Soniqs attacked this bomb site, this was back in round number 1. They lived and died off of their inability to take cash and construction. That's where Elevate invested quite heavily. They were inside a garage, they were playing top red, they were playing cash, and the Soniqs could not drone them out in time, and it ended up costing them. They weren't even able to get close to the bomb site. So if they can at least punish the players off-site from Elevate, I'm interested to see what the Soniqs can do in an execute.
Yeah, it's still gonna be tough though, right? Because this time around you don't have server. You only have that jacuzzi breach. Now, Grixer on the window, and Yeti might go to that office hatch, might try and make a play off that. It's gonna come down to injuries. It is a 5 versus 5. This is what happened exactly against NIP when Soniqs played last. If Elevate has studied Soniqs, they should know what's coming. Super will try and plant inside a gym, use that smoke grenade, 2 players in the windows. Elevate, have you studied your opponent? We will see in just a moment.
Onigiri very worried about pushing towards that, but there he goes, and he hops out. Rexon falters. At least a pick for Elevate, though, traded back immediately by Grixer. 20 seconds left, and Elevate sit at a 4v4. The Soniqs need to get into the bomb site with the diffuser in hand. There's Super taking out Nea's Grixer. Super's in stop, though. Diffuser surrendered. So Grixer in the killing fields. He'll have to do more than that. You've got a plant. A harvest is so bountiful with Yeti now on that diffuser, but he falls off at the last second. Elevate regain the lead.
I mean, I said it, Super will throw out smoke grenades and plant in gym. If I know that, there's a very high chance Elevate knows that. Now I'm going to say that I think they did, because the second those smoke grenades were tossed out, they positioned themselves to respond accordingly. Ney was also down below with a C4. Worst case, Onigiri opened up the round, jumped out with the shotgun in hand, and thankfully for him, somebody was nearby close enough for that shotgun to even do damage and actually find the kill, because I'm going to be completely honest, the Legion shotgun is not known for destroying players the same way as most shotguns are on defending side. Well done, Elevate and Soniqs. I mean, you might need to expand your strat book, because we've seen these so many times before that they're starting to get memorable. If I know them, Elevate knows them. That means that most teams going forward that are even better, that are even more prepared, will know exactly what you're going to be doing. Mind you, Soniqs played NIP, was it 6-8 loss on Clubhouse. That's where a lot of these pocket strats from Soniqs, they showed these limited attacks where they only take 1 breach and maybe the side window, and they work with that. And it's really, really hard to make that work if you're Soniqs, because limited attacks are simple, and simple is also often easily countered if you're prepared for it. They usually work the best if it's a surprise effect. That's not gonna happen if you use them 2, 3, 4, 4. I just said 4 twice. 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the past at this exact same event.
I'm going to talk about the overall circumstances of our very first day of playoffs here. If you don't want things to be spoiled, well, I'm sorry for you. I don't know how long I'm going to talk about it, but just close your ears, I guess, and hope for the best. But today, North America are in action very early on, and it has been a terrible day for the North American teams. Other than the dominance of TSM, 2-0ing Ninjas in Pajamas, OXG got smoked 0-2 by FaZe Clan. Soniqs got blown out in the very first map here against Elevate, and SSG got dominated by Na'Vi as well on the other stream. So as good as North America might have been through the group stage, they are struggling quite heavily, and they're going to end up with most of their teams in the lower bracket if they don't fix this today.
Interesting. I did not see that coming, to be honest. And today's games have been rather fast, I would say. You know, there was some 7-1s and some 7-3s and whatnot.
Making up for lost time, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess we had some days that really dragged out. You know, max OT and 2 maps in a row and craziness. And well, now we're catching up. Soniqs in a very familiar position. We've seen this before. Last time they attacked CCTV, that was that second round. So it was 4 rounds ago. And last time it was just they opened up the breach, they ran it on through in, but this time the breach has not really been opened. It's just that single small slit that'll be an angle, but it will not be an entry. You cannot crouch through, cannot prone through, cannot vault through. And DC Hedge extended out on the map as he has been every single round, doing a pretty good job. He is 2-3. It's him and Nay on the prey, but Nay this time around has found himself on site. Yeti on this red stairs finds a good opening kill, but the barbed wire will stop him from pushing on up.
I mean, taking out Nerix is huge. Even though Nerix is now even at a 5-5, he has been so consequential in most of these rounds, and as the Mira, even if he's dead, his gadgetry is still going to be so important. Those black mirrors will continue to assist his team.
That they will, and Super is still sticking around. Now fire arrows coming out from the side of Rexon. A follow-up kill as well from Kansan. Good synergy here. Good garage execute. Remember, when my spans or arrows, they will go through ADSs. Do not stop them. LMG goes brrr, finds a kill as well. 2v4.
And it's 2 LMGs to do that. The Alda for the defenders, and the Capitao LMG as well, tearing on through. There goes the Evil Eye Cam, so that means Nay has to fall off of the gadget and instead engage. DCH propping up inside a cache. A vantage point towards Rafters where the stack up for Soniqs is. If they don't hit their shots, they will be punished from this position. But he lights up Kansan, not enough for a kill, but enough to do some damage and give a warning to the rest of Soniqs. Yeti is boxed out outside. Unless he does something to this wall, he's not going to be particularly crucial. Outside of the rotate, down goes Rexon, and Yeti falls as well. Grixer walks in. There's a Nitro cell from below. In fact, it's actually 2 impacts. All you have to do is stay alive. Grixer will be immobilized. He's got the diffuser in hand, planting in the middle of the A-bomb site. Nay retaking. Still plenty of time for Grixer to fall off. Nay doesn't want to bait this out. He's got plays and pings to go off of. No intel outside of that. All eyes of Soniqs on Grixer. 8-2, one of the best performing players, and he's inside of construction. Alda versus F2, Grixer versus Elevate for Soniqs to tie it up, to take the first half into a tie and go into the second half. Hitting a reset for the Soniqs would be huge. Nay is so low on HP, it's only going to take a couple bullets, and the fire hose that is the F2 claims its final target. The Soniqs don't win the first half, but they keep it even, and it's a 3-3 scoreline as these teams now swap sides.
Grixer really showing why he's so well spoken of and so high on the standings. Remember, he's second on KD, plus 46. He's second in rating, only being beaten out by Nesk of all people. So absolutely huge performance from him so far, and in particular in this match. Really doing good work. Soniqs in that 4 versus 2 execute, they did every single thing correctly, and Elevate somehow punished it. It was a swing, 2 kills from Jaeger, impact below from Maestro, 1 got the injury, the second got the kill. Yes, Maestro was half health, Twitch was full, but Twitch, Grixer, did a good job of running deep into side, running all the way away from that information, planted from safety. There was no information really, there was sounds, there was somewhat of a yellow ping, but it didn't really quite hit the mark because the bulletproof camera inside of servers couldn't see him. And then it came down to a 1 versus 1 standoff. Grixer came out on top. He did the same thing on Villa. And going back to when the plant came down from Soniqs, when they tried to at least, it was very well executed because Yeti rotated to that server breach and he was holding the angle into radio door. Then you had 2 players on the garage catwalk rafters, 1 that was going to plant and the second was there for backup. 4th player was Grixer on that CC window into side, holding top red. And yes, even though the cover didn't really hold what it should have had, I would say that the setup itself was really, really good. Everything was covered, everything was accounted for, except, of course, for those impact grenades from below. 3-3 is the side. We now swap it around. Elevate go on the offense, and Soniqs go on the defense. And they will start it off down below.
Well, the Soniqs have not led in this series at all, even on their map pick of Villa. Their first round came in the 6th and final round of the first half, and the Soniqs' best effort was 3 rounds in Villa. They've already met that target here on Clubhouse, and I guess there's something to be said about how you take a team that doesn't have a lot of tape on a certain map and then bring them to that map. The fact that there were so many question marks about Villa, the Soniqs must have come in and seen something in the VODs they did review and then be confident enough in their own ability. And talking to all the teams before the event started, Nick, there was an even split of teams that said we're at our best when we're playing our game, and half the teams that would say we're at our best when we're preparing for our opponents and matching them and beating them. So the Soniqs obviously had a mix of both.
Yeah.
You want to play your own game on Villa, you want to be able to outfox Elevate. Didn't work. Here on Clubhouse, the Soniqs at least look far more confident, and Elevate on attack had some difficulties on Villa. So how will that translate to Clubhouse? Half of the round to go, a nade goes in, no damage done to Rex and Smokes as well. Elevate could be shaping up for a very fast execute. If they decide to drop from blue, they'll be greeted by 2 players from the Soniqs who are looking in that direction. Instead, Elevate turns tail, they go through bar, they're now looking at the kitchen and main stairs.
Yeah, and the one thing to note here is that Elevate is playing 6 grenades, whereas Soniqs only played 2. That means that if there are players in passive positions from the side of Soniqs, well, you got grenades to clear them out. That is a position right now where Grix are right now, whether it's AKs or third box. If you have a grenade, you drone him out, that should be at least some damage, or in the very best case, a kill. It will be a kitchen hatch focus here, similar fashion in that of Soniqs, but opening kill is super actually finding Nay.
Very nicely done for the Soniqs. They're trading even in terms of these opening picks. Kansan's down, a smoke gets used to try and conceal the pickup now as Super moves into position. Get Kansan right back up. Limited HP, but Nerix is in, and he gets 2 big kills for his trouble. He's in the back of church. Maybe it's a sermon to be held as Onigiri inside of blue is wiping them all out as well. Yeti inside of dirt taking out Onigiri, but he's the only one left standing. No way to stop the diffuser from going down to Sapper. He has to walk out, and it's DCH to get in on the fun too. 3 players from Elevate showing their worth, and the very first defense for the Soniqs does not work out.
Nerix really read that situation beautifully. What happened was that Super got the opening pick, but his teammate was injured. So he tosses out a toxic bait, not expecting anybody to push through, because why on earth would you do that? But Nerix, he knows better. He read the situation. He was like, okay, toxic babe, now you're going to revive your teammate. I'm going to sprint on through, make it through that toxic smoke, and then get a double kill instead of just getting the 1. And that really opened up the round, because then it's like Super, oh, guy inside, what's happening? And all of Soniqs will have this scrambling like, okay, what is going on? Where is this player? How did we just lose 2 people inside the bomb site when we thought everything was covered? Elevate then followed up. There was a player pushing blue stairs. He got 2 kills. Last player from Soniqs was inside of dirt. Couldn't do anything. Had no help. Last man 1v3. Plant is going down. Yeah, that's a tough one. And Soniqs, they agree. Gonna go back upstairs. Or I say back, but they haven't been here before on the defensive side. They've only attacked it before. So first defense for them on CC. Second round, first time. They started in the basement. They're not gonna be doing a, well, extension, if you will, over to gym. They made 2 rotates. The observer just showed it a second ago, where they have a rotate to gym and then rotate from office like you would if it was a gym bomb site. But it is in fact CC.
Soniqs still in the position where they've yet to lead once this series, and even if they win this round, they're still going to have to wait a little while longer. How detrimental to your mental state is it, Nick, to now be? Oh, when did we start? We started at 1 o'clock. It's about 2:30-ish. It's been 90 minutes of the Soniqs not having a lead in this series. What does that do to your mindset?
I mean, Soniqs, they have gotten a ton of opening picks so far. It's been traded back and forth a couple of rounds, but at least they got that going for them. They're getting initial picks, getting initial ground, but then the middle game, they stagnate, they slow down, and we've kind of criticized a couple of teams for that at SI, Soniqs being one of those where they just kind of stand still and they're like, what do we do next? Well, let's just wait. And then Elevate say, we'll wait as well, and then nothing happens, and we all know that when you're in the attack, time is on your side, or rather, it's not, you gotta push through, but Soniqs now being in the defense, now they can sit comfortably, now they can actually wait, and we'll see if that starts paying in their favor, whereas Obviously, it didn't. Yellow ping coming
no,
through.
no. Hold on a second.
Drone. Oh,
wow.
Nice one. Ensuring the information was accurate, said I can do that myself. Takes the cam, finds the wall bang, wrecks it off the board.
Both bomb sites are empty, by the way. Aggressively off-site for the Soniqs right now. Nobody actually sitting in the confines of where that diffuser needs to be planted. Instead, the Soniqs have spread out. They got some players over towards Gym and Master. They've got players on Catwalk, which is where Kansan is. And he'll fire away at the open breach on the wall. He's lost some HP in the process. Drone down earlier on, so there's positioning up top on those rafters, known by Elevate. They need to flush him out. And Nay will be the one to do that, but he needs to watch for the pop-up. Kansan's looking one way. Grixer gets a kill, but it's 2 for Elevate. It looks like we finally will see a team win more than a single round in a row. This time, though, it's at the Soniqs' expense. Super at the top of red stairs. He has to try and delay a push as much as possible. He's got 2 canisters to do that. Not a ton of time, yet he swings. It's a desperate attempt. Desperate times call for desperate measures, but he's dead all the same. Another toxic canister goes out, and Super retreats into cash. He'll reposition. Diffuser going down. Sapper successful, but yet he sees the feet. Super can't do too much about it. All the bullets raining in, and there's just time. They made it to round number 8. The Soniqs only won 2 rounds. They won the 9th round. This is where we are right now, so the Soniqs can at least get ahead of their position on that first map. But the one thing we talked about, the Soniqs have not led in this series. The clock is still going, by the way. It's been 5 minutes since we last brought this up, and another round goes by. The Soniqs needed that one to tie. Yeah. Their ability to lead is now farther away. And the only way that the Soniqs can lead is if they win 3 in a row, which means that that 12th and final round will either be another victory for the Soniqs to put Clubhouse away, or a loss, and then they go to overtime. So the Soniqs need to be perfect from this point forward, or else it's overtime on the menu for them. Given the way these teams trade back and forth on rounds, Elevate always being a leg up on the Soniqs, you don't want to go to overtime because then it depends entirely on where the momentum is at. Elevate haven't needed to use their timeout on Villa or on Clubhouse, and that's because mentally, they've been composed. Strategically, they had a couple issues on Villa, but they had such a lead that it didn't really matter. Here on Clubhouse, Elevate have looked mighty fine, and they'll go on attack with the Soniqs defending in the basement. We'll see what exactly Elevate can be done differently because the Soniqs are going to be prepared for this execute. The Soniqs slipped up and lost control on blue very early on and then peeked the hatch inside a kitchen to try and rotate and scramble out knowing that they lost that off-site control. You can't be doing that again.
That's what the Ying comes up. The Ying from Nerix has been brought to the table. They have smoke grenades. In fact, they have 4 of them. They don't have a single flashbang. It's just all grenades and smokes. That's 10 pieces of utility combined. 6 and 4. That means that this round will actually be much like a Soniqs round where it's going to be slow. We're going to be droning, taking control. Soniqs themselves also playing slow because they got the Mira. They got the Kaid. Both teams playing the same game. That means it'll likely come down to a 5 versus 5 with very few seconds on the clock. The Kaid, especially, will slow you down as you try and breach. And, I mean, you see Kansan literally in a corner. Just gonna be waiting, sitting around. Remember, on this double church wall, there is a mirror window, same as in blue wall we're looking at right now. And that means that Elevate, the only area that's not contested by a mirror window, will be dirt. And it'll be kitchen hatch. The Ying will be your opening. That when spine comes through and smoke comes out, that's your cover. That's when you need to act, and right now, using nade to try and clear out some positions and some utility. It's good. You have so much time to work with, 1 minute and 14, and that's a toxic bait being forced out by Super. So even boding more well for Elevate. The kitchen hatch still yet to be opened. There is a Kite Claw on it. You'll have to sacrifice a grenade or do what you're doing right now. Put that exothermic charge on the soft part of the floor, and the area of effect destruction will actually open the hatch if you do so.
And that was something that we didn't focus on in that previous round. There was so much stuff going on that the exothermic charge went off, opened it up. There's the Ying in action. Nerix taking out Grixer. Both exothermic charges gone, but it's just a kill fest. Nerix picking up 2 kills onto the Soniqs. Match point seemingly here if Nerix can continue this round that he's on. Tearing in through the toxic canister, slowed down. There goes Rexon, last player is also dead. 2 kills from Nay, 3 kills from Nerix. Elevate are absolutely dominating, and look at the celebration on them. Both Nay and Sapper very elated with that one. It looks like the CEOs of North America, Elevate, have yet another victim on their hands. It's 6-3 for Elevate. This is series point.
It's just two different stories when you look at the player accounts, right? Elevator are ecstatic, they're super happy, and they should be. They won the first map, and now they're at match and map point. Soniqs, his finger super, had his hand in his forehead, and not really a ton of smiles on their lineup. And of course, when you're losing, it's hard to be happy, but you also gotta stay in it mentally. So I hope Soniqs can bring it back and say, guys, tighten up the ship. Let's bring the good vibes, bring the energy. It's not out yet. We got a long road ahead of us. We gotta bring it all the way to OT. That's 3 rounds in a row. We cannot make a mistake. Then you gotta win 2 of the next 3 rounds in OT. Then you take Clubhouse. And then, you got a third map of Oregon. And it's not gonna get any easier, because even if you do that, Elevate, I think they have so much energy, at least in this first game of the day for them. Sure, if they end up winning, then they go up against Demo and Kia, and you can argue, well, maybe Elevate will have less energy against their fellow APAC team, but that doesn't matter, because right now, the only thing they care about is Soniqs. They just care about this one single game, and that's the right approach. Think too far ahead, and the present might just slip. We've seen that before. We call it underrating teams, right? Undervaluing, thinking they're not going to be a big issue, right? Oh, we got Sandbox now. Well, we got BDS in the final. Let's think about BDS for a second. No. You gotta think about the opponent that's right in front of you, and only that opponent, because every single team right now at this event can take you out. We're all on equal ground, and everyone is surprising each other each and every single day. Soniqs right now, well, they're getting very surprised, I think, because, well, this might be Elevate's map pick, but Elevate has already beaten Soniqs on their home turf of Villa. That just means that Elevate, they want this match, they want this game, and they will open up the wall on CC. It is a gym defense, so very normal extension. Now start working with the wall Rex and top red stairs. He's gonna sit behind a shield, Alibi Prisma as well. And Elevate, taking it slow. They know that, guys. Now is not the time for mistakes. Oh, mistakes don't get made, Injure comes out. I don't think he can finish off the kill unless you greed for it. But no greed will be had. Super will get revived, 20 health on him. That's alright if you're Soniqs. It's better than losing a full player, but not great.
Soniqs are going to take an engagement here and lose out 2 more players. They're destroying bodies at the problem, but the problems keep piling up, as do the bodies, stacking up in the bomb site. Super remains, as does Kansas, but they're deep off the bomb site, and Super had taken a punishment earlier on. Elevate in fine form, and they know the Malusi down below. Yeti gets taken out by Onigiri, and will continue, or Yeti takes out Onigiri and continues his roam. So at least one goes back in his favor, but if he heads up red stairs, it'll be right into the waiting arms of Elevate.
Look at the health bars. Super, Yeti, and DCH are all sub 20 or on 20 health, and that means 1 bullet, or if not half a bullet, will take you out. That means that Elevate, they can get aggro, but Yeti, he's the one to do it first.
Keeping his team in this HP or no HP, as long as there's a single sliver of HP to your name, you can still fry, and Elevate know that. Oh. DCH walks in. Yeti, though, 2 big kills and a third to his name. Kansan finds 1. Elevate have Nay in line. But there's 3 players from the Soniqs, plenty of time to work with. Can Nay be the hero? Through the wall, nothing to be found. Swung on and looks the wrong way. Every single player from the Soniqs are a single shot. Nay can make this work, but he needs to play off of the time and the information he has. Heading into the bomb site will be difficult. There's lots of hard walls that he cannot shoot through. The players from Soniqs, far enough back, they know exactly where he is. Inside of logistics, a brief pause and a deep breath from the fans of Elevate. A miraculous clutch unfolds, but Kansan says, no, that's not enough. We're going to stay in this. Our day's not over just yet. The Soniqs find their 4th round, but there's still quite a mountain for them to climb before they get to overtime.
Yeti, oh my, single-handedly just saved the round for Soniqs. He found 3 kills, 2 with a gun, 1 with that impact that just got tossed out, killed 1 player, and did a ton of damage onto the second. Yeti wants it. He wants to stay in this. Soniqs needed 3 clean, not flawless, but there is no room for mistakes kind of rounds. They've got 1. They got 2 more to go. That's a successful gym defense. But as you go on, you'll have to work your way through every single site. CC is next. If you win that, then you gotta make that 50-50 decision between going bar or going back to basement where you have not found success. So with every round win for Soniqs, you can argue it gets even more difficult. You'll have to prove it on CC first. Before we go further, similar lineup from both teams. Grixer on the Aruni, Kansan on the Kaid. Really playing around this wall deny from Soniqs, both bringing the Mute and the Kaid multiple rounds. And Elevate, same fashion. 6 grenades, 4 smokes, no change really. It's an interesting choice of bringing out the Jackal. It's been Nerix on that flex. Played the Ying, played the Jackal, and doing good job so far, especially on that basement attack. That was all Nerix.
Nerix has been one of the standout performers in this entire series for Elevate, and they tend to go back and forth. Onigiri has great games, DCH has had some great games. Hard to do that, by the way, DCH playing upstairs in isolation and not with the actual team. We've seen the impact that can have on a squad, but now he's here and the team is fighting at full force, in person. Soniqs fighting for their lives at the moment. Nitro Cell from Yeti is there. DCH could get blown sky high. Nitro Cell goes out, wrong direction. And that's a piece of utility used by the Soniqs that could be more crucial in the later round. So a gambit from Yeti, it does not pay off.
You need to try, right? Because especially if you're Yeti who just carried the previous round, if you get these opening kills and you make space for your team, that's really good. You get less pressure on top of you. But now it's 5v5, you're down to C4, and that could really be crucial in a minute and a half from now once Elevate starts planting, because the only other way to deny that bomb to go down are the toxic babes from Super and a single C4 from Kansen. That's all you got. And Kansen is a catwalk player. He's not going to be in a position to use his C4, so really all you have, it's all Super and his toxic babes. It's not a lot.
No, it isn't.
It's just 3 toxic babes. That's
last time around, Kansen couldn't even do that much about the catwalk because he was focused on the breach that had been opened up out on that platform. So now, Elevate, they'll break the gate. There it goes. Kansen knows this, and he has to be very wary of it. That Nitro Cell will not be intended for the bomb site, as you talked about. It'll go towards the door and garage, and if somebody from this Elevate squad doesn't look, well, that'll be bad. Nerix uses both of his smokes to break out the 2 Aruni gates. 30 seconds until they're reset. Kansen also has some backup upstairs in Rexen, while Yeti is down below trying to hold that blue position on the top of the stairs.
Good formation from Soniqs, honestly. They have covered all the important areas that they need. And sure, they don't have C4s, but the ground matters a lot. Catwalk is so important, and Onigiri using these nades in arguably the wrong position, because Soniqs, they know this. They've gone off the bomb side, but Onigiri, he finds a kill with a gun instead.
There you go. Elevate starts this off. 4 more kills for them to be found, but the Soniqs take out Nay, and they answer back. Kansen onto DCH. The garage control will have to wait a little while longer for Elevate, if they can even get it at all. Nerix is next one up. There goes the barbed wire. Still not a muscle being moved from either Rexen or Kansen. He's in a good position. Protected on catwalk again. Is there a nade with his name on it? At the moment, none available. 1 smoke for Sapper. He'll want to get the plant down at some point. Still, catwalk has not been opened up. There goes Onigiri. All of a sudden, the Soniqs have firm control, and they are just beating Elevate every step of the way, leaving Nerix inside a garage. Nobody from the Soniqs needs to give him an inch. Make the Jackal come to you, or if you're feeling mighty fine, you pop up as Rexen, take down the last first pick, which was good. But then after that, Elevate went for the exact same strategy. They couldn't take Lounge as much as they wanted. When they finally got it, they tried to take garage, but they didn't have any utility left. The smokes were burned to break those Aruni gates, and then there was no plant to be found by Sapper because you didn't have access to garage. So that was the most pivotal position for this Soniqs team. They hold on to it. That was a key error that had happened on the defense before. Soniqs fixed that mistake, and they win the round off of it because Elevate is simply not able to overrun those 2 players from the Soniqs in that spot. So with overtime now well within their reach, the Soniqs will again want to focus on this garage, but it's a very different setup for them.
Yeah, we're up basement defense. We are definitely roaming. We're getting active. I mean, a Runegate on the garage door, that really is something that we don't see very often on basement defense of all things. It's Rexen who wants to get aggressive, try and get a kill, slow down Elevate, and change up the pace. You mentioned that Elevate has been doing the same kind of attacks, and it's been working until they didn't. That's when Soniqs adjusted, they adapted. We're seeing that now again, because this is certainly not something we've seen before from them. Grixer is hiding inside a stock. Nerix on the Jackal here can maybe see some feetsies and figure out indeed where he is. Rexen's still on that catwalk. Yeti up on top floor actually inside of construction. That really means that Soniqs are working all 3 floors, and Grixer finds the opening kill into Nerix. That's the Jackal off the board. That is so crucial for this roam game of Soniqs. They can now fall back, they can stick around. Either way, they've won the early round.
Yeah, that's massive for the Soniqs, and it bodes very well for the remainder of this round. The thing is that when the Soniqs get that opening pick, they have those struggles to convert, as you talked about, but a lot of those come on attack. They get the opening pick on attack and then struggle and tread water before ultimately drowning in that round. And in this case, on defense, you're going to let the site work for you. That's one piece of Elevate's push into the bomb site that's now gone. That smoke's gone. That's pressure inside a church. That's where they like the Jackal to stack up. Nerix will either play at blue or by the Moto drop, and then either isolate blue or church, as we talked about before.
And they're still roaming. 2 players from Soniqs. They're stuck around. They have not fallen back. And I mean, DCH, he's guessing that they're here, but he doesn't know. They have jammers. There's no drones, really. And there's only 5 drones left in total for Elevate. One of them will be used here from DCH. Droning himself in. No support, no follow-up, just him alone. Gonna be speaking to the bomb site. I think if you're Elevate, you say, you know what, we know this guy's above. Maybe try and find one. Doesn't do it. Does some damage, however. It'd be very low on health, but that's not enough. Rexen also fell back, so now, if you're Elevate, you can do the math. 2 guys in blue, they fell back from Garage. That must mean the roam is clear.
And Elevate had that information. They had drone work on them. That's why they were posted up in the spots they were in. First toxic canister's going to go. The Maverick working away at the wallway of Church. Oh, and Sapper fires on to Grixer. Down goes one of the Soniqs' best player, but there's still more to go. Yeti now punished by DCH from above. That kitchen hatch closed. Maybe not for long. Sledging away at it. The Thermite will be the one to get the diffuser in, but he's waiting for an escort. There go the smokes. Soniqs now playing in blue and in Church. Rexen with one onto Onigiri. This is going to be a dogfight between the 2 teams. Wall goes off. Super primed and ready with a shotgun. He's got 1 kill. He's going to need a second. This could be huge on him. Swinger be swung. He takes down the diffuser. SMG out, but he's not enough to do anything to DCH. 10 seconds left. Rexen now watches the breach. Lots of damage being done. A nice shot from Elevate will need to dislodge him from this position. DCH on the diffuser. Nay to cover. He's got to find both bodies. There's one. The second is Rexen, and he can't get the diffuser in time. DCH pops up. He knows where he is. And what a clutch from Rexen. It's overtime on the menu. Elevate failed to close it out, and we're going to need 2 more rounds.
They wanted it 3 rounds in a row. They got it done, and they made so few mistakes. Soniqs, in fact, adapted each and every single. It was tailored to how Elevate was attacking. The roam game on this final round of basement defense. They got the opening pick. They stuck around to buy time. They wasted drones. They really drained Elevate of every single utility that they had. Then they fell back to side, and yes, Elevate, they saw it, so they knew of this happening, but that doesn't mean the round is going your way. And sure, Elevate, they even got 2 kills. They played it really well on that back B area. They got 1 kill vertically, got 1 through the wall, but then, well, it was Super on that breach when it got opened up by the Thermite, got 1 sharking kill, got traded back, 2v2 enabled, and Rexen, he's the man to clutch it up, and this has kind of been how Soniqs has been winning these rounds, right? We got Grixer winning 1v2, we got Rexen winning that 1v2 or /1v1, how you want to look at it, and that's how they've been clawing their way back all the way to OT. Elevate now in the basement, back to back. Soniqs showed how it can be done. Elevate wants to say, oh, we'll do it too. Very different operator lineup, however. There's no Kaid on the board. There is no Mirror on the board like Soniqs showed twice. They are instead bringing the Maestro, they're bringing the Goyo, they're bringing the Banshees. Looking to get active, no mute. That means the roam game is likely not going to happen, and if they do, it's certainly not going to work out like it did for Yeti. And no, it does seem like they'll have a little bit of presence on the main stairs, on the blue stairs, maybe kill a single drone at best. But certainly, no activated roam will be had. It will mostly be a bomb site basement defense. And now, Soniqs, you need to show that you can break this apart. You've done it so many times before. Do it now. You go 7-6. Then you go on defense. You can pick any bomb site of your choosing. You can even go bar. Crazy, right? Terrible win rate. Don't do it, please. But basically, that means you're in the driver's seat. That's what you need if you're Soniqs.
Major confidence booster for the Soniqs. This isn't even their map, by the way.
No, it's not.
What a storyline it is to come back on a map that you did not pick. So, hey, kudos to the Soniqs team for what they're pulling off. And this is every team at this event. You don't make it to one of the best 20 teams in the world without being able to dig deep when it matters the most and pull yourself back from the brink of defeat. ELV burned their timeout, as have the Soniqs. So both teams have really nothing to settle themselves down. ELV take their timeout. It doesn't work. ELV, as we talked about in this back-and-forth matchup, they win 3 in a row. Match point is theirs. It looks all but certain that this is over. But we've spoken way too soon. And the Soniqs said, no thanks. We're not going quietly into that good night.
They're awake now, and it clearly shows. I mean, it's not the first game of the day. This is the second. So we did start at 1 p.m., but if you go back 9 hours, I mean, that is still very early if you are a North American player. But I don't think that excuse works anymore because we've been here for over a week now. Surely we've adjusted. Jet lag is a thing of the past. We're here in the present, minute and 35 seconds left, and Soniqs looking to work that kitchen hatch again. That seems to be a fan favorite from almost every single team here, and it makes sense. The kitchen hatch provides so much area denial, right? You almost get a full bomb site in control with opening a single piece of utility of the hatch. But yeah, the clock is ticking down again, and Soniqs gotta be working a little bit fast. This bar hatch, moto hatch hasn't been opened. No cover for Yeti. Oh, Nay does not get lucky there. No opening pick this time around for free. You gotta work for it.
Yeah, nobody is really giving an inch at the moment, though Nay is peeking that hatch. Might not be an ideal position to find himself in. Instead, he'll now just wait as the rest of the Soniqs tear through the floor. In comes a Twitch drone. It has the ability to jump now, so it's not as static as it was once before. Spotting the Maestro and giving intel, but they know it's there. It doesn't make as much noise. And there's 1 damage done to Onigiri. Maybe try to throw him off, cause some confusion. Bucking away upstairs as the floor continues to go, and the Soniqs gain more and more control over the bomb site. A Nitro cell in the hands of Nerix can go out, but it's not going to do much. That hatch opening up inside a kitchen pushes Onigiri back into dirt tunnel. He'll sit and wait. Nay has not been shaken out of this position in Moto, so hatch control is still there, but damage now to Yeti as he tosses out a nade. Onigiri re-engages, spraying the Aldo away, but that was not a smart idea. Rexen down, they trade back. Soniqs will drop into the bomb site, super taken out. The Nerix and Nay combo working effectively. Grixer's down. Yeti with 2 seconds left, can't pull it off. ELV will go back to match point, series point. They struggled through 3 rounds. Can they get it done?
Oh boy. I mean, I spoke about what happens if Soniqs goes, 7-6. What happens if ELV is the one to do it? Well, you're on the attacking side now. And Soniqs, yeah, you can still pick any bomb set of your choosing, just like you could before if you had won your attacking round, but you didn't. It is instead ELV that comes out on top with a clutch performance. Nay tried to flank the main stairs, found 1 pick, then died to Yeti. Yeti, last man alive for Soniqs, walked back down the main stairs with very little health and found 2 players in that main hallway. Going back to basement, 3rd round in a row. Soniqs went there, they won the round, they took us to OT. Then ELV said, we'll match you on basement, and that they did. And now Soniqs says, we will do it once more. So this truly is a tale of who is the best basement defending / attacking team between these 2 opponents. Mira got 6 picked away again, so clearly Soniqs, they figured we lost twice with it, we won once without it, we're gonna stay without the Mira. We're gonna reinforce all 3 church walls, and I'm betting you they will do the roam again because it made sense, it worked the last time, and ELV, well, they lost the Jackal early, and then it was just like a slippery slope. This time around though, no Jackal on the board. Nerix is flexing differently. Onigiri himself on Flores. Nerix on the Ayana. So more soft breach, I guess more flexibility, if you will, for different kinds of bomb sites. I don't think this is the best case scenario for a basement attack if you're ELV, but they prepare for the case that it could be CC, it could be Germ. I mean, it could even in theory be Bar if Soniqs were really bold.
Obviously not the best bomb site for the defenders, as we read out the stat earlier on. Okay, this is Rexen pulling off the same move that he did before. The same panels on the window opened up, and down goes Onigiri. The Flores will not be able to have any effect whatsoever in this round. And one of the more notable players from ELV is gone. Another church defense. The 3rd time in a row that we're going to see a bomb site get played on this bottom floor.
Yep.
Without a Flores, that is particularly damning. Any Banshees, any deployable shields, the 2 big targets of those Rotero drones, they're going to be gone. And a spare to open up the floor or a wall, also gone.
Yeah, DZH still got the sledge. You can still make work of the floor inside of Kitchen if you want to for verticality. But remember, there are still roamers from Soniqs. Yeti and Rexon are still above in that cache area. And same story as last time. They're just waiting. They want ELV to come to them. They don't gotta move a muscle. They got this Aruni gate on the Garrett store. Sapper on the soft wall. Says, too much danger. Gonna go to that bar area instead of pool table window. He is being very precautious. He's watching that Garrett softball in case somebody swung out. That wasn't the case with Soniqs. They're playing it safe. They got the 5v4. They got what they wanted with the roam game, just like they did in the past. Last time, well, that was enough. This time we'll see if they can do it once again.
Opening pick for the Soniqs has been mighty good this second half, and now into overtime as well. Elevate will need to course correct as they lost that player, as we talked about, in the Flores early on. They didn't lose a hard breacher, though. Still have the Thermite available in the Maverick, too. Aruni seeing a very fast rise in pick rate here, and the Soniqs really enjoy using her. Looked like DCH was going to head through Dirt Tunnel, maybe in a flank push, but instead goes back upstairs. I don't know where he's going to be with the rest of the team. There we go. In the Sledge's office, inside of Kitchen, and down will go the floor. I don't know if Elevate is going to open up that kitchen hatch. They didn't last time, by the way. They wanted to go into church. They didn't care about kitchen, and they need that exothermic charge for the wall. There's a nade primed and ready to take out the mute jammer, and it goes in. Quite successful. This will give clear passage for Sapper to get on in. And the diffuser in his hands, he's going to be the one to plant it. Exothermic charge is there as well, and the Soniqs inside of blue can't see where that diffuser is because the smoke goes off from Super. Super was very strong in this position before. They need another big round from him. Swing on to the diffuser planter. He's got the shotgun in hand. He can do some significant damage. They know exactly where this push from Elevate is coming. Can the Sonic stop it? Super is there. He gets one. Shotgun out. A beautiful play from Super. Two big picks. Elevate falling by the wayside. Everybody's dead. And a final 15th round is gonna happen. 10 seconds and a flawless return. The Soniqs have not led in this series. They're not going to, because they now tie it up and both teams will sit on match point.
I mean, this is Super's world. We're just living in it. Super on the basement bomb side with the smoke has now gone huge 2 times in a row. Previous time, he was hiding on the breach itself, got 1 kill, slowed the enemy down, took out the diffuser carrier as well, then he died. This time, he played on that black box area next to the bomb chassis. He found 2 picks, almost a third, did a ton of damage, slowed down, used his toxic babes to perfection. And now we go for the absolute final round. There is no infinite OT in this series. That's just for the grand finals in those best of 5 situations. This is a regular OT. We are indeed on overtime match point 7-7. Whoever gets 8 first, they take the map. If you're Elevate, you take the series. If you're Soniqs, you take us to Oregon, the 3rd and final map of this matchup. And Jim is the bomb site where everything will be decided on. Let's take a look back at what happened previously. So, when Soniqs defended Jim last, they won. They did a good job, that's that. That's the only time Soniqs went there. Then let's look at when Elevate played Jim. Well, they also won. So they've also done a good job. But Elevate has won this bomb site twice. So they statistically have a higher win rate in this particular map or match. Played it twice, won it twice, attacked it once, lost against it once, and now they're looking to make that 3 for 3. They keep bringing the Maestro. This time Nerik is flexing like he has been on the Mira. Nay on the Goyo. This time, different weapon. No longer TCSG. No longer Lesion Shotgun. No Lesion at all. That means more real weapons, if you will. Excuse me, but real weapons on the side of Elevate. And that will be very crucial for them because now they can actually be an even ground with the likes of Soniqs.
Yeah, tensions raising in this lobby between these teams. Elevate's only 2 victories at this event so far, Nick, have come at the expense of North American teams.
Yes.
They lost to both BDS and Furia, so in a roundabout way, Elevate is superior to North America in this particular matchup.
It's true. We'll see if they can do it again.
Let's talk again just for a second about impactful kills. Super's 3 kills in the last 2 rounds have all been incredible value.
Yep.
And when we talk about teams and players, again, not performing well, yeah, Super's 4-10 is quite dreadful. It frankly should be better than that.
Oh.
But the fact that he still picked up 3 kills that inarguably saved the round for his team is enormous. You were oohing because Ney almost lost his life in that first battle with a minute off of the clock.
Yep. And I mean, Soniqs, they have really been in the driver's seat regarding opening kills the last 3 rounds at least. That's where ELV has been struggling to find their man advantage, but they got utility. They got shields, they got mirror windows, they got ground. And Soniqs, when you're in this position of max OT, it's the final round, and you're on the attacking side, that's when the stress and the pressure really starts building, because you need to act. You need to take this round with your hand and win it. You cannot sit around, you cannot wait. You need to be the one deciding when to go, where to go, and how to go. Right now it's looking like a similar situation where we got 2 players out of Jacuzzi Breach. Wherever Super is, that's usually where the execute comes from. Grixer now on the windows as well, kind of confirming it will be a similar situation of that of the past. It'll be a gym execute, Grixer. Ney, solo on health.
This is the bomb site that ELV are perfect on. There are 2 victories, 0 losses, and so much of it is off-site. The Soniqs get bogged down in this cache CCTV quagmire that ELV creates, and SQ cannot turn their attention to the bomb site. They have to do that this time, and there's the first pick on Norexin. Another body on Jacuzzi balcony could have been found. Yeti repelling in, that's information known. DCH taken out, Ney still low on HP. Yeti in the middle of the bomb site, he sees the Maestro from the back, that's another pick. Pivoting over towards construction, Soniqs sweeping up. It looks like they'll be able to do it. Down goes Kansan, but that's information. Ney on 1 HP. Diffuser in the hands of Super. Firing through the wall. He's got the diffuser down, and Ney knows how tough this will be. An almost impossible situation. Definitely not possible. The Soniqs, boy, oh boy, I hope you like suffering, Soniqs fans, because that was one hell of a comeback. My heart's beating. I'm sure yours is as well. The Soniqs take the second map, 8-7, and like that, a more comfortable map for the Soniqs awaits as both